Hello, you're listening to Abstract AF. I'm Sneha Jaiswal, and I'm going to review the fiction novel The Seven Moons of Maali Almeida by Sri Lankan author Shehan Karunatilaka, who won the 2022 Booker Prize for his work. Maali Almeida is a Sri Lankan war photographer, casually in the closet. Not like casually in the closet as a phrase, but I say casually because the protagonist has no qualms about making out with men in public places, but lies as easily about having a girlfriend when questioned about his orientation. Anyway, where were we? Yes, Maali Almeida, queer war photographer, fixer, risk taker, liar, gambler, and now a specter. The year is 1990, Almeida is dead, he cannot remember how, and has 7 days to solve his own murder, after which he can pass over into the light and not be stuck in the afterlife. So the story is set in a place called the In-Between, where souls find themselves after dying. And not very surprisingly, the place is just as bureaucratic as the living world. Dead souls must line up at counters to start the process of passing on completely, and they're expected to finish that process by 7 moons. If not, they can be stuck in between forever. The book is a supernatural thriller/satire, generously sprinkled with Sri Lankan politics, folklore, religious beliefs, and queer identity. Like a good mystery plot, there are so many suspects and red herrings, readers will keep theorizing about who killed Maali Almeida. The photographer was in possession of explosively incriminating war photos that a lot of people would kill to get their hands on. From powerful ministers, shady undertakers, activists, journalists, and even the military, Maali Almeida has a long list of suspects who wanted him dead. While gripping for most parts, the second half gets a little tedious. The story begins to drag its feet over the last few chapters, and then there's so many elements stuffed in that it can make the average reader's head spin a little. It did mine for sure. Took me a few days to finish the novel because the information and character overload would make me feel mentally exhausted after a bunch of chapters. Those who are not too fond of excessive politics in their fiction might even want to wash their hands off this novel midway. That said, the author does slip in a quick guide to the Sri Lankan War to familiarize foreign readers with what was happening in the country during its civil war in the 80s and 90s. So as you read along, you will know exactly who the LTT and the JVP are, their motivations, goals, and their beef with the ruling government. We also get quick little explainers on all the supernatural beings that appear through the story. The author pours in most of his effort in the politics of war, but it's the personal equations of Maali that leave a more lasting impact in the novel than his professional and political altercations. So the two characters who are most likable in the 7 moons of Maali Almeida are his best friend Jaki and lover Didi. Jaki is young, fearless, and impulsive, while Didi is more uptight, serious, and diplomatic. And despite their polar opposite personalities, if their love for Maali could be measured tangibly, it would probably be a tie. So Mali's ghost relies on Jaki and Didi to help unravel his murder mystery, although he has ample help from crazy spirits and a blind old human who can communicate with the dead. What really stood out most for me in the novel was the contemporary nature of the language. I really liked how the author's sentences were simple to read, the dialogues felt colloquial and real, not flowery literary spiel. So even though it wasn't a page turner, not for me at least, the straightforward prose made it easier to read and made things seem less surreal. It's a 3.5 on 5 from me.